somebody with common sense has to be the voice of reason on this internet, because too many of y'all are participating in foolishness. Shame must be brought back because y'all have gotten too comfortable and y'all have forgotten real life from the internet. I'm gonna tell you what really be happening. See, y'all come to this internet and you feel safe behind this screen. You feel so safe behind this screen to say a bunch of outrageous stuff, right? Because you got a bunch of yes men and hype men that follow you in your comment section, making you think that the behavior that you participate in is good or that it's acceptable. But in the real world, it's not. But you come to this internet for validation from your yes men and your flunkies to tell you that the stuff you participate in is okay. But there's going to be people like me and the ones with common sense. We're not going to. We're not going to play those games with you. We're not going to participate in the foolishness of making it ever seem like what you're doing is okay.
What happened to embarrassment and shame and taking things to your grave? What happened to secrets? Bring it all back, because every day I log in seeing people confess to things to a bunch of strangers that I would never tell you unprovoked. Look, you would have to tie me to a chair, threaten my whole family, pull out a gun, and maybe even shoot me one time just so I know it's real. We all need to know a little less about each
I
other.
was just wondering, whatever happened to shame? You know, shame used to be like correction, direction. You know, you used to learn from it. Used to be humility to it. But nowadays, you don't see it no more. You don't even hear people even telling people to be shameful. I mean, my grandmother used to say, you should be ashamed of yourself. And that would do something to me. That would make me feel a certain way. And I think like, man, you know. And also, when you would think about your actions, because you would say, this would shame your family. Your whole family be ashamed if you done something wrong. But nowadays, it's nothing. But then you have people have different point of views of shame. Like it's a disease. It's something you can catch. You need to get rid of it. Check this out.
If you have been shamed a lot throughout your life and no one has ever told you that that is one of the main nervous system dysregulators, welcome to the rest of your life. Because when we have experienced a lot of what is called chronic shame, this means that it is something that is happening daily, weekly, something that you're getting exposed to a lot of the time. This fundamentally shifts the way that you see yourself and actually impacts your identity. And what this tells you, what chronic shame does, is it turns into toxic shame in your body and convinces you that you, as you are right now, are not inherently worthy of having access to safety, love, and connection, which are all basic human needs that we need to have in order to survive. And because you're a human being, just like me, you are born with this innate knowing that you need to be accepted to some degree by your community and your tribe in order to survive. Understanding how to remove and dissolve shame from your body has to be the first step of your healing journey, and I created a guide to show you how.
Now you see how she made that seem like it was a chronic illness to have shame, to get rid of it, get rid of shame. It don't make any sense no more to me, because my grandmother told me a story when she was growing up. If a woman got pregnant, she didn't have a husband, she would have to leave that city or that town, and her parents would raise the child just to give her a chance to find a husband and be married. Nowadays, it's different. I remember I went to a baby shower. She wasn't married. The father was there of the baby. Then 2 years later, she had another baby shower from another guy that she was pregnant by. And nobody said anything. It was like the norm. And me, older now, see, things have changed a lot, and it's still changing. Is it for the better or for the worse? You let me know.
Going to blame men when it's 5 to 10% that's getting 80% of the women out here.
It's 5 to 10% of men who are sleeping with them, but they are running through the 80% of women and now they are disqualifying them from being good wives. So it first needs
That's
to
their
start.
choice. We have women in mass, the majority of women that are giving themselves to these low quality Tyrones, Pookies, and Ray Rays that don't care when there's good men that are right around you, but you don't want him because he's corny. You're as an individual, you have individual accountability. Say, I don't care what culture is doing. I make a choice with my box. Culture is not going to give me STD. Culture is not going to take care of when I'm an unwed mother. Culture is not going to take care of those things. I am responsible for my body, who I give my body to, who I have soul ties to. If you choose to spread your legs open in these streets, society did not make you do that. You made the choice to lay down with all of those men and putting it on that men need to take accountability. You chose to bust it open for that F-boy or that Pookie. That is your choice.
Women use shaming tactics on men because, simply put, our ego can't handle their truth. That's it. Our ego can't handle what they're saying because how it impacts us either makes us less valuable in their eyes, and we don't want to accept that. What they're saying is offensive to us because we know that we're not that. So we find ways to poke holes in their thought processes so that we are somehow more attractive to them or more appealing to them, as if arguing someone's perspective is going to change it. Sometimes it does. But when we're talking about attraction, that goes much deeper. So I think, simply put, women shame men for their perspective simply because it does not work in their favor. And so therefore, we diminish, we disparage, and discredit.
Today, I see is that the youth are dealing with, men and women, is that the world don't tell them the truth anymore. The world doesn't speak to them in a way where they can feel ashamed when they do something wrong. Right? Feeling ashamed for a moment in time to where you can turn that around and do something that's actually aligned with who you are, right? That's love. But nowadays, people are in social circuits and groups where people don't actually tell them the truth because it's always, don't judge me, don't shame me. Instead of, no, love me, tell me the truth, which requires sometimes tough love. Things that I need to hear but don't want to hear, which allows me to grow and develop. If you're constantly around people who are not telling you the truth because they fear you feeling bad or they fear losing you, then these are not people who actually love you. These are people who are coddling you and which won't allow you to grow. So you have to know the difference between your desires and your vision. Your desires, people will tell you whatever you want to hear, right? But when it comes to your vision, and if you want to actually bring that out into fruition, if you actually want to live at your edge and at your highest level and be your greatest, truest, highest level self, and that's when people will tell you what you need to hear in order to get to that destination that you're supposed to be.
When did it become okay for women to sit on social media and talk about what they do in their bedroom? Like the idea of a woman never tells, that has went straight out the door, and it's crazy. I just came across a video of a woman talking about what she's going to do, what she did last night, how good it was, and it's just that's not how a lady conducts herself. A lady does not carry herself and tell her business in that manner. We have gotten to a point where we are too comfortable. That is not what you do. And unfortunately, you know what it is? That is what society, that is what the women, because there's a bunch of women in the comments cheering it on, talking about what they're going to do, how they're going to be outside doing. It's just what happened to being a lady? And I know people be like, well, what does a lady mean? A lady does not do that. A lady does not tell her most intimate parts of her life to a bunch of strangers, let alone anybody.
I don't have a problem communicating as long as the problem is outside of her. You see what I'm saying? When we get to talking about communication, a lot of women are open as hell to it when you complaining to her about your homeboy who not doing right, or you complaining to her about your career that may not be going how you wanted to go. But when she's the issue, the communication don't be as back and forth. It don't be as open. It don't be like it should be. Now all of a sudden it's super defensiveness. Now all of a sudden you're not letting me finish sentences. Now all of a sudden it becomes a bunch of resistance.
Okay, so let's talk about it. The same way that you say that that as men, y'all want women to create a safe space for y'all, sometimes you have to do that for us too. So just like y'all want us to cut up things in sizes that's digestible for y'all, maybe y'all can tell us things in ways that's digestible for us as well.
You shouldn't argue with women because at the end of the day, their perception of the world is based on their feelings. They don't see facts. They see good, bad, fair, unfair, what should and what shouldn't be. You tell a woman 2 + 2 is 4 and she don't like you or 4, you just became a bigot, a homophobic, transphobic. You hate your mom. They don't argue to understand. They want you to know how they feel and they want you to validate how they feel. Anytime you listen to a woman talk, you tell them something, the first thing that come out of their mouth, that's mean, that's rude, that's not fair. Who cares if it's mean, rude, or unfair? It's a fact.
People don't like shame. They don't like when you correct them about something, or they don't want to feel a certain type of way. Everybody in their feelings, or it's the way you said it, your tone, or you could have went another way about it. It's too many obstacles to be straightforward now. Nobody can be straight up and real no more, and that's what's hurting us. It's so many feelings involved. For what? We all grown. We all know what's good and bad, and shame need to stay. And it's slowly disappearing, and that's a shame. But you let me know how you like this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll hit you back with another one.